celebrated our 60th wedding anniversary. And all that time, I acquired a understanding of why she did what she did and her motivation. And most of you say, well, why would she serve 13 years in a concession stand? Why would she spend 30 years keeping the stats for a football team? Well, if you look in Jeremiah, first chapter, the Lord said, I knew you before you were ever born. And I feel like He has put people here on this earth for certain reasons. I recognized the trading gene even before we married, that if there was a kid that looked lost or hurt or needed help, she was there. She always has been that way. Didn't make no difference where we were at, but we were in Anchorage, Alaska, or in Colorado, or if she might have been in Puerto Rico, which she has served there as well. But she was always there. And I thank Kevin and Taylor can vouch for that. And she did what she did because that's who she is. She has always, and I think I'll relate to you something that happened one time that really solidified my understanding of that. We were in the old gym over here, what we call this is the old gym. That now is the new old gym, or the old new gym, okay, in the elementary gym. And we were playing somebody, I don't remember who it was girls. The girls were being coached by our legend coach, Don Hill. And it got to be, we'd go to all the games, and if a girl needed a Band-Aid, well, Tina always had a Band-Aid. If they needed a Tylenol, well, she had a Tylenol. If they needed an aspirin, she had an aspirin. And Coach was really intense in the game. And the girl came up to him, and she says, I got a headache, I need an aspirin bad. And he was a little bit excited about what was going on and everything, and he turned to her and he said, go see Ms. Rad, she got everything in the world in that purse. And that's how he put it. And so from then on, she became Ms. Raz to all the girls. And as generations passed, she became Mama Raz to a lot of them. And the reason she became that is because what she recognized, whether it was a boy or a girl, she would recognize those players, that there were nobody there to see them play. None of their parents would come, and so she would adopt them. And she would always be hollering for them and giving them encouragement. And they knew it. They could hear her voice. You could hear her voice out there on that field. I could hear it in my ear going, yeah, listen to it. But I could say truthfully that, and I think Kevin could vouch for that when we talk about the stats, I can remember her staying up to 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, preparing those stats. So, her main purpose for doing that was to make sure that by the next morning, whenever they had their, meeting at, field house, that they had the stats there to look at, to go over, to see what transpired during the game. But she also, as time went by, she had a column in the Lufkin News and in the Houston Chronicle. And I've been told several times, people who live in Houston, they said we hang every Saturday morning on the paper to listen to her play-by-play account of the ball game. And she was very good at doing that. But she also recognized at the time that the girls weren't getting any recognition as well in their basketball games and such, so she started keeping stats on them and turning in articles to the Groveton News. So that's who Jean Rasbeary is. That's who she's always been. And there's a secret behind that, and I'm going to relate it to you. How many of you have felt like the inspiration of youth has passed you by? Well, it hadn't passed her by. And it hadn't passed me by either. And I'll tell you why. Because when you get involved with the youth, when you go and you watch them play basketball, and you watch them play volleyball, and you watch them play softball and baseball, you get to know them. You get to feel that energy from them. You get to feel their inspiration to life, to what they want to achieve. And from that, you get that inspiration of youth again. So my encouragement, and I know she agrees with me, is get involved. Go to your junior high ball games. If you've got kids that you know that are playing, go and watch them play. Get to know the players. Know them by name. And don't be afraid to holler for them. Because they know when you're hollering for them. They do. And that gives them encouragement. Don't think it doesn't. Because I coached shooting sports for 20 years for Trinity County. And we went to the state match 17 times out of that 20 years. And we won district 9 years in a row. And so it takes involvement. If you know a kid, even if you don't know a kid, get to know a kid and follow them. Give them encouragement. They need that. You were educated here in Groveton, so you know what encouragement is. Don't be afraid to pass it on. So that's the beauty of every one of us. And that's all I have to say.